think he's
+9.
the closest guy to having a double-double average in the EuroLeague. Tadas Edy. He has
BTKs.
right now he averages exactly 10 points and has 9.3 rebounds. And I think this is the closest that we have in all EuroLeague. Because I don't know. I mean, with the assists, it's not really possible to have a double-double in the EuroLeague. And with the rebounds, I think is he the leading rebounder? Let me check real quick. Yes, Tadas is leading by quite a large margin. He has 9.3. And in the second place, we have Mirotic with 7.6 only.
Okay.
So,
Wow,
filling
that's a
up the
huge
stat
difference.
sheet, 19 in PAR per game this season for Tadas.
One of the most efficient players in the EuroLeague.
Yep.
I mean, top 7. That's crazy.
Baskonia have two guys in the top 7.
Chima Monaco as well.
Chima
Fourth
Monaco is
best.
4th. Chima Monaco. Okay, let's not do
No,
it.
no, no.
Let's not do it anymore.
Let's not do it because now when I was watching Chima, I was like I was even thinking like he's Monica. It kind of this. That's
Okay.
how propaganda works. As much as you repeat things,
Okay.
then you start thinking it's true. So for me, he's translating from Chima Monaco to Chima Monica, and it's bad. I don't want that.
Okay, so did you expect Chima Monaco to be the top
Of course not.
three
It's
scorer
impossible.
in the
I love the
EuroLeague?
guy. He had a great URBONUS podcast appearance in Kaunas, and he's a great guy. But to be top 4, it's crazy.
He's top 3 in scoring.
To almost 23 PAR, almost 18 points, huge numbers, 60% 2-point field goal shooting, 53% beyond the arc, 6.2 rebounds, 2.5 offensive rebounds, 1.5 steals, 0.7 blocks. That's huge, man.
But I think we'll talk about him later. I mean, we'll talk about Duško Magic. We'll talk about...
You were laughing from me. I told that they're going to win 6 games in a row, and you were like, oh, they're playing big teams. Brate, Partizan, brate, Olympiacos away. Wow, it's Duško, man. He doesn't care.
Oh my God. But it's only for 5 games or 6 games or whatever.
And let's admit, this one in Piraeus, I mean, it was you were just rewatching the end of the game, and you were like, you couldn't believe in some things that happened.
One of the worst, quality-wise, one of the worst fourth quarters in the history. Not in the
Okay.
history of EuroLeague, that's a bold statement, but it was brutal to watch. We just looked at the stats of the fourth quarter. Both teams had more turnovers.
11 against 8 field goals made.
And Olympiacos couldn't score for 5 minutes, and you could just see what this team is lacking. And we are not going to repeat ourselves saying that they have a lot of injuries. Yes, they do. Their rotations are short. Mustafa Fall, Alec Peters have to play a lot of minutes, but this is not the problem. I think they don't have a closer in the team, that can just solve games by himself. And Baskonia, with so many non-shooters on the court, with Marcus Howard, it's really hard for him. So, for both teams that have spacing problems and don't have enough shooting and don't have enough, let's say, Olympiacos ISO closers, this is the results you get in the fourth quarter when it's winning time.
Yeah, we have Baskonia at 15th place in offensive rating, and Olympiacos is 14th. In 4 quarters, Baskonia is last, and Olympiacos 16th. Yeah, that explains a lot.
The game went according, what the stats say. So
Yeah.
but
Actually, let's discuss this one out because
Okay.
we kind of started on
Yeah.
a good run. This is the URBONUS Q&A podcast, guys. The entire episode will be exclusively available only for BN Plus members that you can become joining basketnews.com/plus and BM Plus community to get a lot of other extra content, not just Q&A episodes, but also a opportunity to participate in a very privileged inner circle of Basket News fans and to talk about EuroLeague and other stuff with people from all the corners of Europe and even from the United States. Shout out to Charlie. A lot of good features, and we will talk about few games, Partizan, Fenerbahce as well, a little bit of Zalgiris and Efes, but then in the other part of the podcast we will be answering your questions. So let's just wrap this up about Olympiacos and Baskonia. What else would you like to mention from this game?
probably, we have to recognize the great performances of some guys from both teams. And first from Olympiacos, three guys that I brought into my fantasy team just yesterday, and they all delivered: Alec Peters, Mustafa Fall, Isaiah Kanan. And Mustafa Fall to me stood out. His defense in the fourth quarter. Olympiacos were switching a lot, and he was pretty solid against Marcus Howard, against other guys, and blocked some shots, played some solid defense, made some turnovers in the offense, trying to be the facilitator in the post. But probably in my eyes, in the fourth quarter, this is their best option, going into the post for Mustafa Fall, because they go under against Thomas Walkup. Isaiah Kanan is...
And especially in this game, Baskonia, I would say, was so aggressive going under against Walkup that it was even uncomfortable to watch. Although, Thomas is great. I mean, he is so smart that he used those situations to bring guys like Alec Peters, for instance, putting great screens and, creating opportunity for him to score. So he read those situations really well and smart. Okay, they're undering me that bad. I'm not feeling good about my shot this night, so I will try to use this situation, to bring others to score. So he kind of found some solutions in some situations, but yeah, of course, it was a problem.
Not in all of them. There was, I think, at least one miss from the 3-pointer, and I understand him. You have to try every once in a while. I mean, they're going under you so bad, so you're wide open. This is the most open shot Olympiacos are getting in the fourth quarter, because Isaiah Kanan is not as fast, let's say, as Shane Larkin, and in ISO situations, it's hard for him to create that much space, let's say, like Shane did yesterday against Zalgiris. And
just the last fact about Thomas and 3-point shooting: in the last 4 games, he's 1 from 18 beyond the arc.
1 of 18.
Yeah,
that reminds me the Fenerbahce series.
And he made
last year
5 of 10 in the opener against Panathinaikos. Man, Panathinaikos fans should be crazy about that. That one night.
Yeah. Anyway, the game and the last few possessions stood out to me. Let's say, first of all, these two teams don't have that many options, and Chima Moneke playing in an ISO situation from up top, not an ideal scenario. Let's say, as good as he is playing
in an ideal world, yeah.
In an ideal world, that's not ideal, and. Even though Alec Peters made one huge mistake when Chima scored, he was so close to Chima. Why do you need to do that? You keep distance with him. You give him a little bit of space so he doesn't beat you with his speed advantage that he, of course, has. And not only Peters was so close to him, but he also opened up the right-hand drive for Chima, which is his strong hand. So it was an easy 2-pointer for Baskonia. Got them the lead. Then I was already typing the tweet after Larenzakis scored 2 free throws.
And they were
Olympiacos, not about him. Olympiacos is a unique team, and this is why. You are down 1. You need a bucket. There are 25 seconds left on the clock. They are running their usual motion set that they used in the first quarter, in the second quarter, which involves like off-ball screens, handoffs, then it's coming into the direct handoff for a pick and roll. They go under. And it seems like I'm watching not the clutch possession, but I'm watching a possession in the first quarter or the start of the second quarter. But this is Olympiacos. They don't have great ISO players, so they need to do that. And Larenzakis got free throws out of it, so it was cool. And the last possession was just, pure skill from Cody Miller-McIntyre. We have talked about him in this podcast, saying that, he's one of the main problems in Baskonia's offense under Peñarol, because every team go under with him. But wow, what a shot. What a shot. Such a tough move going behind the back. Then, a little bit fading away. It helped for him that it was Isaiah Kanan against him.
Yeah.
Shorter guy.
Yeah.
It reminded me a similar situation to Keenan Evans forcing overtime yesterday in the fourth quarter. Zalgiris got Derek Willis first. Then they asked Shane Larkin to come and be in a mismatch situation. So we can see a pattern here, like smaller guys being attacked in the last possessions. But I mean, amazing shots. The guy has been missing a lot of 3-pointers, and to have the confidence after missing a shot 1 minute earlier, the same similar mid-range shot. So kudos to Miller McIntyre, and Duško Magic still alive.
Yeah.
It's crazy, man.
Duško Magic was never dead. Yeah, and I've asked people around, the biggest difference he made in Baskonia since his arrival, and comparing to Joan Penarroya. So, the answers were kind of similar. If with Penarroya, it was like regarding the discipline, physicality, effort, aggressiveness. If everything was at around 60%. 70%, with Duško now it's 100, and that's what Duško does. He has his own way, to make guys to step up.
How many turnovers Olympiacos had in the fourth quarter? If you are not playing aggressive enough, they don't make these turnovers. Like, they have a good, even without a closer, even without an ISO player, they have a good system. They have good movement in the offense, good flow. And if you're not playing 100% defense, they're not making these turnovers. So the change is obvious. But I did not think they're going to beat Olympiacos.
No, me
that's
too.
A huge win.
And that's huge, because not only they build a huge lead in the first half, but Olympiacos bounced back and they were in a position to win the game.
30-9 second quarter.
Yeah.
That was crazy.
So
even though they hit a lot of tough shots.
Olympiacos were in a position to win that game, but Baskonia still managed to save the lead and to win the game. I think those wins, they build character. They build the trust between the players and the head coach, especially for the new head coach. It's very important to get his ideas and principles established by winning. And then if the main guys will lead Duško, this team might be dangerous. And we might be talking about a big pool of teams again competing for the play-in spots. At least.
Could be, with the way EuroLeague is headed right now, you could see so many teams. Like, there is no clear, there may be 2-3 teams that might not be in the play-in race, but so far all the other teams are going so really tightly, so it's going to be, I think, the playoff race, the play-in race are started even now, because like I said, couple of real, let's say Real Madrid and Barcelona looking better, and maybe Monaco looking better than everybody else. And then it's like all the other teams and no real outsiders so far.
Let's talk about another big game that we had in Fenerbahce, in Belgrade. Partizan, Fenerbahce. I mean, that's how I won the playoff series between Partizan and Fenerbahce. The last 3 games since Partizan returned to the EuroLeague finished by no more than 3-point differential. That's just crazy. Last night, I loved one comment of our Beyond Plus members in our closed WhatsApp chat. He's obviously Partizan fan. He said that Fenerbahce turns into prime Golden State every time they play Partizan. And in the first half, it was just, something else. They made 9 threes. They were 11 from 13 shooting 2-pointers. Nigel Hayes-Davis, 20 points, perfect shooting night. I think from the field he was 8 from 8 or something like that. I mean, everybody was making shots.
In the first half.
Yeah, in the first half. And they scored 56 points in the first half. And in the second one, they had only 28, I think. And they made give me a second. I think that they made only 2 3-pointers in the second half against
2 or 3.
2 of 12. So that was a big roller coaster in Belgrade.
You want another stat about the scoring differences from Fenerbahce?
Okay.
So this run they made in the first half, I was rewatching it and I'm like, okay, let me break down every possession, what happened in that. And Fenerbahce scored in 9 possessions in a row in the first quarter, and they had 20 points in 5 minutes because they went 9 possessions without, they missed some shots, but they got offensive rebounds and they still scored on those let's say trips to the other side of the court. So they scored 5 minutes. In 5 minutes they scored 20 points, and in the last 16 minutes of the game, They scored 21. That's the difference for you. And in that 5-minute span, Željko had 2 timeouts. None of those helped, really. This was only a small part of the full URBONUS Q&A episode. If you want to see the full one, subscribe to BN Plus on basketnews.com/plus.